the Democrats have truly turned into an angry mob bent on destroying anything or anyone in their path. The shameful Democrat mob, and we're calling it a mob now. A lot of people are calling it. These people are starting to think of it as a mob. The choice could not be more clear. Democrats produce mobs. Republicans produce jobs.
These pacifistic Democrats are so scary. When Republicans roll out the new talking point smearing Democrats as a mob, you're now used to that. But this is what happened to Nancy Pelosi during a campaign event in Florida this week.
Look at this piece of shit right here. Look at this piece of shit Pelosi right here. Communists. You don't belong here, you communists. Get the out of here. Get the out of here. You and your Democrats.
Afuera. And I think both this might be the first time that everyone's seeing it, because we wanted everybody to see it and get your guys' actual sort of live reaction to it. Karine and Tiffany are back with me. Joining me now is columnist Kurt Bardella. I'll go to you on this first, Kurt. You know, Republicans think in their minds they're just doing the same thing as the Democrats who interrupt like a Republican congressman at brunch.
Total false equivalency there.
Yeah.
Not the same. I mean, one, just watching that, the feeling that you get of fear. I mean, I don't care who you are, how long you've been doing this in public service, having that type of hatred and anger and venom directed at you from people that you know want to do you harm, people that you know advocate for violence. This isn't a peaceful protest. There's a very, very big difference in peaceful assembly and exercising your right to protest this government and doing what we're seeing right there. And we've seen that this group, whether it's in Los Angeles and New York, have had instances where they incite violence wherever they go. That's a very scary thing. That's a very different thing. That's what a mob is.
Yeah, and I mean, and even if there's been some media, we were talking about this in the break, that there's a little bit of a false equivalence even the media will do. The people who are at brunch saying shame, 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 why are you caging children, are not, I mean, this is a pretty intimidating thing. A man, hurling epithets, pretty vile epithets at an older woman.
Right. So I would echo Kurt's point. And also, I think this isn't new. This isn't something that we're just now seeing. Donald Trump often stokes the anger and ire from in his audience at rallies where he has people call the press the enemy of the people. They all turn around. The press feels a bit intimidated. We all remember on the campaign trail when one of his supporters sucker punched a kid who was there supporting him. Trump has offered to pay the legal fees of people if they want to incite violence. So again, that we're seeing these people feel emboldened to behave this way. This also comes at a time that the president is trying to shrink protest in D.C. His administration is working with the national parks to try to make it so people have to have permits to protest, or only a certain number of people can convene in the areas near the White House. Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton is pushing legislation to combat this and have some sort of balance in government where he can't do these things. So the hypocrisy where you see not only from the administration where they call the Democratic left a mob, but also it's very dangerous to have the media echo this false equivalency. We saw this last week when former Attorney General Eric Holder said, when they go low, we kick them. He immediately said afterwards, I don't mean that literally. I'm not suggesting violence. Of course, that got melted to a 30-second soundbite and gave the right-wing media something to run with. And we have that, both sides ism that they try to do, the whataboutism that they try to do. That's emphatically not the same.
The side that is on the NRA side, the side that wants to carry guns in the church and in the bar is afraid of the pacifists. And to your point, let's play the leader, because it does trickle down from the top. And here is Donald Trump and his incitement of his own base.
The guards are very gentle with him. He's walking out like big high fives, smiling, laughing. Like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you. In the good old days, this doesn't happen because they used to treat them very, very rough. And when they protested once, they would not do it again so easily. We had some people, some rough guys like we have right in here, and they started punching back. It was a beautiful thing.
And by the way, Karine, lock her up is now a chant for really any woman.
Any woman. Yeah, any woman disobeys. It was Feinstein. It was, they've used it multiple times recently, and he doesn't have to say anything. He just mentions a name, or he just stands there and they start chanting it. And so the first couple of clips that you showed, it was candidate Trump, which was already unbelievable that he was doing that as a nominee, as a candidate. And now we're seeing it behind the White House podium, essentially, right? As a president. It's abhorrent. And this week, who did he praise? He praised a congressman who was convicted of assaulting, body slamming a reporter. And then what else has he done? He's looked at the white nationalists marching in Charlottesville. A young woman died during that time, and he says, oh, they were very fine people, right? They were praising Trump. Jews will not replace us. Oh, but those are very fine people. And this is who we're talking about. And it's, I mean, you know, now they're the victims. What we have seen on the Democrat side is the mobs that they're calling that we have seen is like women coming together, and I was there, coming together in front of the SCOTUS building or the Capitol. We are protesting sexual assault. No one is being violent. We're trying to get our voices heard because women are angry. We're angry and are still angry at the time. And also what we've seen, remember, there was that woman who had her baby on her hip. Who
so scary.
So scary. And what she wanted to talk about was the issues, was like, why are you doing this? Why are you separating at the time was kids from their families? That's the mob that they're talking about, really? I mean, there it is. To your